Happy Monday. Donnie Baker here with you, LPR Sound Foundation. I'm in the middle of a recording session today, and I didn't want to miss out on talking to you today. So here I am. The band's taking a break for lunch, so I thought this would be a great time to reach out. There was already a camera in the room. Let me just put it that way. So, hey, what I want to talk to you about today, last week we touched on other ways that you can make money in your studio. Today I want to talk to you about a couple of specific ways that you can also make money in your studio. Additional income streams for you as an audio engineer, music producer, and studio owner. So if you're ready to get talking about this stuff, let's go. Okay, so this entire month, we're going to talk about post-production audio. We're going to talk about ways that you can make money with the tools that you already have access to in a post-production world. You may just be strictly working in music. You may be just strictly a music producer, a recording engineer, a mixing and mastering engineer. But because you have access to all these tools already, you can open yourself up to working in post-production world. Post-production audio. Post-production audio can cover film, television, animation, commercials, video games. There's just so much to talk about and so much to do. We're going to take the next 4 weeks and we're going to break this down. Today, I'm just going to touch on it real quick because the band's out at lunch. They're going to be back and we're not going to have a lot of time today. So for the next 4 weeks, we're going to break this down. I'm going to show you some cool stuff. I'm going to share with you some tools that I use in my business to make extra money when the studio gets kind of slow. You know what I mean? So let's go look at, I've got a download for you. Let me give you that real quick. Go here, learnprorecording.com/post-audio. Get this free PDF. It's got this, I'm gonna show you some of it right now, but this is just a list of some of the things and what they are and what they do. We're gonna take the next 4 weeks, we're gonna break these down. I'm gonna show you how to do it. I'm gonna show you how I do it. And this is just gonna help you more money. It's gonna help you make more money in your business as an audio professional. So let's go look at this list, shall we? So we're gonna take a look into post-production audio. This is yet another income stream that you might not be taking advantage of in your audio business. So here's just a few of the things that we can offer extra. As we already do these things, we can offer this as a post-production studio. Sound design. Dude, sound design this is the fun stuff. You're designing sounds for a picture that you see. Imagine a monster. You don't know, nobody knows what a monster sounds like. You get to make that stuff up. You get to make the picture that you see on the screen sound like the picture that you see on the screen. Sound design is pretty crazy. It's a lot of fun. It's very creative. You know what I'm saying? So I do enjoy sound design. I've saved a lot of the sound designs that I've made as sound effects that we can use later. It's just pretty crazy. Dialogue editing for film and TV. This is actually how I got started in the studio business. I was a dialogue editor on a television show that I'm not going to mention the name of the show because some of y'all might know it and you might not have liked it. But dialogue editing is the process of you select the audio, you select the best audio for the scene, and you clean it up. If there's any noise in the background, even silence is a sound. So there may be some silence between where the editor took out some of the stuff. So you have to fill that back with sound of the room. It's called room sound. There you go. It's called room tone, room sound. You have to fill between the gaps so that silence is not there. So when it does get mixed into the show, it's a smooth transition from one set of dialogue to another set of dialogue. We're not going to talk too much about actually recording the dialogue for a film. That's another process. On-set sound recording, on-set sound mixing, that's a different process. That's a boom operator. There's another guy that's actually mixing the sound. All the actors may be wearing lavaliers, wireless microphones, that kind of vibe. So we're not going to talk about that stuff. We're talking about post-production. That is actually production. So voiceover, recording, and editing. Now this is something that's really simple to get into. You already do it. You're already recording vocals. You're already doing these things. You've already got the cool microphones. You've already got the cool preamps, compressors, Pro Tools or Logic or whatever you're using as a DAW. You already have access to this. So why not offer this as another service. Voiceover recording and editing involves the process of capturing and refining spoken narration or dialogue for a film. Now, it's not to picture, which means it's just somebody talking. Consider a documentary film, if you will, where the person's talking in the background. That's a voiceover. Voiceover demos, which is I didn't even talk about that in this thing. Voiceover demos is a whole nother business that you can get into, just creating voiceover demos, which helps voice actors get gigs. They need demos to get the gigs. This is just, it's pretty crazy, the amount of things that we don't even maybe think about that we could do in our business. ADR, which stands for Automated Dialogue Replacement. Now, this is a little bit more difficult to work with than voiceover recording because it's actually to picture. And it's a little more specified and a little more specific when actors come in and they have to replace the lines that's already been recorded. Maybe there was some noise on the recording. Maybe they said the wrong word, but the director liked how the picture looked, so they have to replace the dialogue itself. So this is a little bit, like I said, it's a little bit more difficult. We are going to break this down. I'm going to share with you over the next 4 weeks. One of the weeks is going to be about ADR recording, and I'm going to show you how it's done. And it makes it a little bit easier, but it does take practice. As an engineer, it does take practice to get this done properly. Foley editing. Now, Foley is a recording process that is pretty much anything that a human can do, or anything that gets done. Like if you pick something up and you move it and you place it down, that is Foley. The on-screen actions of a character or object is what it says here in the definition of it. But Foley recording, this is there's a whole thing that's just Foley Studios. There's a whole bunch of people that are just Foley actors, and their entire job is to act out the scenes. Figure if you see somebody walking down the sidewalk and you hear their footsteps, that was probably done by a Foley artist. You see somebody's bone break in a film, that's probably, the sound of that has probably been done by a Foley artist. And I'm going to share with you some of the secrets that Foley artists use to get this done and get it recorded and then edited. Music editor and supervision. Dude, this is one of those things. If you're a music producer, this is ideal for you. Start advertising, start marketing that you can do music editing, you can do music supervision. We had a guy that worked here as an intern, and then he got the opportunity to work on a television show as a music editor. He quickly moved himself into the music supervisor role, which the music supervisor role is you pick the music for the show. And he's a producer, and he was able to produce his own music that he was placing in the show. So not only was he getting paid to be the music editor and supervisor, but the music that he was putting in the show belonged to him. So he was getting placements at the same time. What a smart fellow this guy was. Mixing for film and TV. Mixing for film and TV is very similar to mixing music. You've got effects, you've got EQ, you've got compression, you've got blending, you've got automation. It's the same kind of vibe. Now we are going to touch on, I'm not going to go too deep into Atmos and surround mixing and that kind of thing. We are going to look at it in one of the weeks coming up in the month of May. In the next 4 weeks, we are going to look at this slightly. I'm not going to go too deep. That's a whole nother day is what that is. So I'm going to come out of this now and talk to you again. This is exciting for me because we do a lot of these. Some of these we don't do. We don't do a lot of Foley. We do some on some smaller productions, but there are full Foley studios that people can go to and to do the Foley that they need to get done. So we're gonna, again, the next 4 weeks, we're gonna be breaking this down and showing you what is what and how things work and how I think you can implement this into your studio so that you can start to make money in your studio, or as a freelance audio engineer, as a freelance music producer. You can be using some of these and all of these to make extra income for your business. Hashtag, you're gonna be quitting that day job a little bit sooner than you thought you might. So let me give you this again. I want you to download the whole thing. It breaks it down a little bit deeper onto each one. I just kind of touched on them. Like I said, I don't have a lot of time today. LearnProRecording.com/post audio. Go get that. And you know what? we're gonna be here live on Thursday. Of course, we got the Thursday morning lives. We're gonna do the blog post on Wednesday. I'm still not sure what I'm gonna do yet. Like I said, I always figure it out maybe on Tuesday, but look for that. So starting next week, we're gonna dive into this a little bit deeper for the next 4 weeks. So definitely go down and subscribe right now. Go down there and click that subscribe button, man, and get notified when these things come up, because I'm only here to help you grow your business. So I got to get out of here. The band's coming back in. I hear them coming. So again, go grab this free thing right there, learnprorecording.com/post audio. We will see you guys on the next one. Have a great week. We'll see you on Wednesday, and I'll see you live here on Thursday. Donnie Baker, I'm out of here.